My name is CS1 Sylvester Jones. I'm from Lakeland, Florida.
What brought me to Chefpreneur Academy today was, well, the Navy brought me here.
My expectation of Chefpreneur is that I want to know how to start a business with cooking and actually taking my cooking and turning that in the next level to being a chef.
To widen my mind and my ideas in cooking, and also my skills to communicate with people and open up my range of opportunities.
And I'm here to learn, man. Like, here for the experience. Motivated. Yesterday got me really motivated, so I'm ready to keep going.
Some things that I hope to get from Chefpreneur Academy is to better learn the business aspect of basically cooking and developing a business plan for my own business one day.
Behind the scenes of like the food industry, the business industry, just to learn so I can apply it to myself.
Some things I'll hope to take back to the chef is just the overall culinary skills to better myself as a cook.
A lot of the techniques, a lot of the stuff that we learn here will better help our sailors to develop and become themselves. So I think it will be great opportunity to help our sailors out.
What up, everybody? It's me, Chef Ponder, and thank y'all for tapping in, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in real quick. This is like the first of many episodes we're gonna tap in. Chefpreneur Academy. And some of y'all have heard about it, some of y'all have not heard about it, some of y'all have seen me posting it, some of y'all are like, what is the Chefpreneur Academy? Is it the culinary school? What is it? Well, for the next couple of Tuesdays throughout November, myself and my comrade, Chef Terra, is gonna tap in. We're gonna tap in with y'all, tell you about who we are, about what Chefpreneur Academy is. Some of the courses we're about to launch for 2026. We are uber excited about it. For those of you who don't know who I am Chef Jacoby Ponder. I have about 23 years in the culinary industry, different facets I've worked in, everything from front of the house, back of the house. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's like the servers, all that kind of stuff, bartenders, back of the house, executive chef, sous chef, food and beverage director, production manager, many hats. I wore many hats. That means I got a chance to see a lot of different facets. And I'm a Navy veteran. I was also a cook in the Navy. Well, I say a chef in the Navy because I was elevated to chef from cook. Started off cooking and I got promoted to work for a really couple great people, great admirals and foreign dignitaries, a lot of advanced culinary schools. So I took all that stuff that I've learned over 23 years and I balled it up into a program known as Chefpreneur Academy. Now, the term chefpreneur, while I didn't create the word chefpreneur, I think the word chefpreneur is very befitting for chefs who are hard chargers, workers, and entrepreneurs in the industry. And tonight, we're going to talk about a couple of different facets of those individuals and what's happening in the food industry and what's going forward for 2026 and beyond the food industry. But before I do that, I want to introduce my lovely co-host, Chef Terry. Tell people who you are.
What's up? This is Chef Terry. I am 16 years private chef and caterer, graduated from the Art Institute of Atlanta, started my own business. I have never worked in a restaurant. So my primary experience comes from working in the trenches, really, learning how to be a kitchen boss for myself so that something that I love, my passion, being in the kitchen, actually put food on the table for my family and provided time for me to be able to spend with my family. So I am super excited to be a part of the Chefpreneur Academy and to help you guys do the same.
And listen, I'm glad to tell everybody your role and contribution to this amazing program that we're about to kick off. So just so they know who you are. Like she ain't just, you know what I mean? Like she in it. She signed up for it. Tell them what you got going on.
Yes. Okay, everybody. I will be one of the instructors as well as the assistant culinary director with the Chefpreneur Academy. So you'll see me often. Jacoby will not let me slack. He gives me no slack. So I'll be busy in the trenches doing what it takes to help you guys get to the next level. And it's going to be great.
Now, you just said something that I never knew. So you've never worked in the restaurant?
Never, never my goal. Never my goal to work in the restaurant industry. Hospitality, yes, but
Right.
restaurant, no.
And so you're strictly a personal and private chef.
Absolutely.
Got it. Now, I wanted to point that out because when I was in culinary school, I kind of got into it with one of my teachers, and I said, "Why y'all only teaching us how to cook in a restaurant?" Because when I went to culinary school, I was in the Navy for a minute, and I got the Navy. In the Navy, I was a personal and private chef. Like I worked in the admiral's house. I worked in a ship for a little bit. Then I worked in his house. So I became what was known as a PQ, which is the personal quarters culinary specialist. That means I was a personal private chef. Now I didn't know that until I got out the Navy what I was on the civilian side. But I spent a decade as a personal private chef. So I went to culinary school. I said, why is everything geared toward restaurants? I don't want to work in no damn restaurant. I don't work in no damn you know what I mean? Like I ended up doing it anyway. So because I wanted to go on a path to becoming a sous chef, an executive chef, and the F&B. But I never wanted to work in a restaurant. Like that. It wasn't my jam. Like even right now, I'm still on the fence about owning a restaurant. People are like, where's your restaurant at? I'm like, man, let me tell you something about restaurants. You know what I'm saying? It's not that out of fear. It's just I don't want to commit to that type of situation. And
exactly.
I don't think you can name too many billionaire restaurant owners as chefs, not as partners and investors. I'm not talking about those people because there's a lot of people, even in Atlanta, people get together, put their money together, open up restaurants, and they're not necessarily owned by chefs. I don't know too many chef-owned restaurants, and I really mean like out of the chef pocket. I don't know. I'm not saying they don't exist. I don't know any personally. In some capacity, the chefs I do know who have restaurants, they're backed by somebody. They're groups of people who are backing them. So ultimately, what that means is those individuals got say so. They control the tempo of the restaurant or whatever the case is. So that's interesting. Personal private chef. Cool.
Yes. That's been my career. That's my career. Even when I was in school, one of my instructors or professors was like, "Are you too bougie to work in restaurants?" It's just not what I want to do. It's all a part of the industry, and I have great respect for those chefs that do that. However, I wanted to control my time. I wanted to control my finances. And it's a harder task when someone else is calling the shots. So I work for me. I like my boss. I take off when I want to. I pick the clients. I love it. I love it.
And I tell people all the time, I'm like, this is the hospitality industry. And within the hospitality industry, there's many facets. And I think going in 2024 to 2020, right after COVID happened, hey, what's going on, brother? Thanks for tapping in. Be sure to share this. If you guys are on YouTube or on Facebook, wherever you are, hit the share button because we're going to do this every single Tuesday. So, and if you guys have any questions, post your questions in the comment. This is a free consultation hour you're going to get with me and Chef. Anything outside of this, you got to pay for it. So get your pad, take notes, but also ask questions. This is very interactive. This is for up and coming chefs. This is for chefs in the industry already. I think between the two of us, we got about 30, if not 40 years of experience. Like that's a lot of information, y'all. So our goal is to kind of talk y'all through a lot of stuff, converse about news in the culinary industry, hospitality industry. We're going to talk about my book pick for the day. And Chef, I'm going to give you homework to pick somebody next Tuesday. But it's going to be Mr. Danny Myers. If you guys are not familiar with Danny Myers, we'll talk about Danny Myers and his contribution to the overall hospitality industry. And you guys are going to hear me say hospitality a lot because hospitality is the industry and culinary is a subsection of hospitality. Okay. Like culinary is not culinary under the umbrella of hospitality. Let's put it like that. And as I was saying, like I had the opportunity to work on cruise ships, golf courses, assisted living, hospitals. I've probably done every facet of hospitality it was because I wanted to learn, I wanted to know. And by me doing that, I've become a hybrid of knowledge, of knowing different. I don't know everything now, but I can speak to a lot of different facets of the industry if I had to, especially hotels and banquets and productions and stuff like that. So I say the only downfall is my resume looks crazy. And I'll tell you why. My resume is like, why are you only for 2-3 years? I'm like, because my
I love it. Go
I
ahead.
had a recruiter say your resume looks good, but you're not anywhere for a very long time. I said, because that's not my goal. My goal is not to go do it. He said, well, it'd help if you were there for a little bit longer than 2 or 3 years. And I said, well, could you name me one chef who has retired from chefing? So what do you mean? None of us retire from chefing. We just work somewhere and we die. And if you work for one of the big three or the big five, being like Aaron Marks, Dexo, and so on and so forth, you got like 30 years in them places, man. By then, they don't wore you the hell out. And anybody who ever worked in for those, not talking about in a negative light, but I can talk about because I worked there. For Aramark or Morrison, whatever the case is, any of those, Thompson Hospitality, any of those big major groups, who else? HMS Host, Airport. As a manager, they will wear your ass out. They're going to hire the most inexperienced, low-level, I'm saying that low, not in life low level, but just low-level workers. Like they burn their managers out. They have a real high turnover for managers too. So if anybody ever worked for those companies, you know what I'm talking about. I ain't talking crap about them, just giving you the skinny on those companies.
There you go.
So moving right along, now that you kind of got an idea who I am, and Chef T is Chef J and Chef T. Let's talk a little bit about Chefpreneur Academy. This is a PowerPoint. I'm going to fly through this really quickly because it's just a bunch of, I'm not going to do death by PowerPoint, but I want you guys to understand the purpose of the program. We had a call earlier today talking to a web designer, and I felt like she kind of understood what we were talking about. So that conversation today early made me think like, well, maybe the people need to know what the hell Chefpreneur Academy is, because it's definitely not a culinary school. We're not here to compete with CIA or Johnson & Wells or, well, Cordon Blue's out of business now, but we're not here to compete with any culinary school or any other program. This is a hybrid fast track program, okay? So if you're a chef in the industry or thinking about getting into the industry, or you're already in it and you have a food truck or a restaurant or whatever you got going on, we're here to help. We are an asset to you all, okay? So let's go through this PowerPoint real quick. As you guys know, I'm a Navy veteran. I started off this program. I got lucky or fortunate. I was blessed to mentor 20 active duty Navy sailors, and that's close to my heart because I was a Navy cook as well. And when I had the chance to actively mentor these 20 Navy cooks, I took advantage of it. I said, cool, let's do it. I put together a curriculum over the weekend. Monday morning, they all filed in to the classroom, and I was able to leverage a classroom from Stratford University in Virginia Beach, who are no longer in business. Because I worked there as an adjunct professor for a couple of years. I said, hey, can I borrow the classroom for a second? I would like to host a class. It was like, cool, sure. They didn't even know I was about to bring 20 what became 100 Navy sailors through their door. They could barely get 5 through the door. Here I am, here I am bringing 100 Navy students through the door and making money from it too. That's my first government contract. But I brought them through the program, and I don't think they even had any idea what to expect other than, all right, we better do some cool stuff, whatever the case is. And it was 20 Navy cooks. I divided them into 4 groups of 5. And the first question on date, this is only a week long. This is 1 week long, okay? 1 week. And in 1 week, day 1, I asked each group, what is the name of your restaurant? And they were like, dude, we're in the Navy. We don't have restaurants. We're in the Navy. And the exercise was attempting to have them use their imagination. And I told them, no. Well, I said, everything in front of you see right now was somebody else's imagination at one point. I said, this building wasn't even here at one point. Somebody imagined this building being here and created. So day 1, I attacked the mental faculties of a paradigm shift. And those 4 groups began to imagine a restaurant. I said, where you want to be located at, what city, what state. They started to pick the city and the state. I said, what does it look like? What does it feel like? How many seats you got? Is it fast casual? Is it QSR, quick service restaurant? Or is it a food truck? Or is it this? Is it that? And from Monday up until Thursday, they reimagined the whole entire restaurant. And they had to present on Thursday in order to get a loan. Like, I played the bank, like, convince me to give you a loan. So they had a business plan together. I mean, and then this was serious. Out of that group, 4 people went to actually open food trucks with that same business plan.
See?
And I'm like, oh shit, I got something, So these 20 individuals went back to their Navy command, and I got a call the following week, and the CEO wanted to put the entire 100 active duty Navy students in my program, and the program was born out of a necessity. Okay, so that's the program at its core. We're now looking to grow the program for everybody, not just Navy veterans. It started off as a military veteran situation, but now we're calling all cooks. I'm going to say food service workers.
Correct.
If you're a food service worker, if you are a dishwasher, if you are, what do you call them? Trash runner, if you were a bus boy, if you were maitre d', if you were back server, bar back, it's for everybody. Everybody in the industry, not just cooks, everybody in the industry. Because I feel like there's also a gap always have been a gap between management and workers.
Right.
So let me pose a question to you, Chef. How have you managed your business with only you being a personal private chef? Have you ever had a staff? Do you hire people? How do you maintain your business as a personal private chef?
That is an excellent question. And yes, initially it was just me. But as business grew, which, and basically for me, running a business as a private chef is just like private chef. It's just like running a household. You wear all the hats in the beginning. When you first get married or you're early in a relationship, you wear all the hats. You're the interior designer. You're the chef. You're the cleaning lady. You're everybody. So in the early stages, it was just me. But as my client base grew, because a good private chef, if you have between 5 and 15 clients, you're good. You're good. You're in a good position. So as the client base grew, my need for other people, other like-minded people who were dedicated to the craft, who were good workers, and were very professional, looked the part, spoke the part, and you look on paper the same as you do when you present yourself. So that was really important to me, to bring on people.
Right.
So, people like that. I'm still to this. And interesting story is when I started my business 16 years ago, the people that I hired, they are still my employees. They're on a part-time level now because I have slowed down and I do other things. But those people, I have never lost an employee, because it's important for me to always stay, because I think a good leader can also be led. So I'm always open to bettering myself, so that I can be a better boss for them, and they stick with me. So, yes, I'm fully staffed.
Wow. So what was your vetting process like? Talk to us about your vetting process when it came to picking the right people, because I think a lot of restaurants and a lot of businesses sometimes struggle with that aspect of selecting the right people to work in the establishment. And I would say post COVID, a lot of restaurants struggle to hire good help, or to find good help. So what are some of your things that you do to weed out the riffraff?
Well, the short answer is, when I put on my chef coat, Terry and Chef Terry look the same, but we are not. So my standards are high.
Okay.
In my private life, I am a very, very professional person, but I expect that when I put on that chef coat. So the number one thing, I wanted people who were actually like foodies. You need to be interested in the industry. You don't have to be interested in being a chef, but good food, quality. So I looked for people, and I never put out an ad per se. It was more word of mouth. Like, I need an assistant. I need someone professional. And so through word of mouth, I was able to find people and then have conversations. And I like to keep it really natural, and give you questions like you like to do, questions one-on-one. What would you do in this situation? If you come in, we're at an event, because I also cater, we're doing an event and everything is going wrong. What do? How do you keep your cool? And then see how they respond. I bring them in for a stage, basically, as I call it. I want you to come with me. Come with me to a client's home. I want you to come with me to a catered event. And I want you to
Hold on, Chef. Chef, I think your mic is muted. I'm gonna keep your mic from me. It said their mic. Check your mic for us real quick. Dang, it was getting good talk. I was getting all into it. Like, yeah, keep going. So hold on. It looks like it's saying that your mic is muted for some reason. Their mic isn't connected. It's all good. See if you can. No, we can't hear you because it's still saying that you're muted. Do this right here. Like, drop out and then come back in. Okay. So while Chef gets her sound right, or whatever the case is, because she definitely got to finish that story. Because I promised I was getting all into it. I'm going to drop you, Chef, and then just come back in. Okay. All right, she'll get back in. So let me yeah, we're gonna get everybody mic together. I think my mic is good to go. You guys can hear me okay, right? My mic is not going in and out. I hope not. So we're gonna give Chef a minute to come back in for a second, but let's move forward with what Chefpreneur Academy is. Chefpreneur Academy is founded by myself. Again, started as a okay, perfect, thank you. It started off me just training some Navy cooks. I was a Navy cook myself, if you missed that part earlier, and I wanted to extend the program to everybody. So the program is for everybody. The program is for everybody. Like we need to help each other. Okay. Each one, reach one, teach one. Okay. This is not culinary school. We're not teaching you how to cook and saute. We could, but that's not what it's for. I think a lot of us young business owners who want to open up restaurants, who want to open up food trucks and want to do the business, who are caterers and personal and private chefs. I think that there's a lot of knowledge out there that we need to tap into without paying $55,000 or $65,000 for culinary school. I'm a product of culinary school. Okay. I went to culinary school. I went for the associates and the bachelor's, and I really couldn't tell you anything that applied to me working in a fucking restaurant for real. Like, I can make the 5 mother sauces. Got it. Nobody taught me how to cost out the 5 mother sauces. Nobody taught me how to cost out this amazing dish I just made. Now you do learn food costing while you're in culinary school, just for like a sliver. But I do think that, and this is not a poke at culinary school, by the way, but I do think there needs to be more emphasis on entrepreneurship in these culinary institutions. And it's okay, because we're going to give it to you over here on our side. And that's what Chefpreneur Academy is about. It's Chefpreneur Academy. Our mission is to empower culinary enthusiasts with the knowledge and skills and mindset needed. Okay. This is a mindset situation we're talking about. This is a mental situation we're talking about. So the first thing we do, the first week, this is a 6-week course, by the way. We do have options for a la carte at your own pace if you want to as well, both online and in person. The online portals are being constructed as we talk right now. The in-person will start in January. So we're going to rock with y'all for the next 2 months about this course, about who we are, about what we do, the importance of understanding the power of self. That's the first thing we talk about, is you tapping into those mental faculties, the imagination part. Like really, you can do anything you put your mind to. I'm telling y'all, there was a time period in my culinary journey where I was doing some really cool stuff, and it was scaring me that I was able to do it. But I was kind of like Neo watching the Matrix. I was like just doing all kind of stuff. So moving on, what is a chefpreneur? What is chefpreneur? You see two words together, chef and preneur, as in entrepreneur. Thank you, I appreciate that. We see two words, see chef and we see entrepreneur together. That's what a chefpreneur is, a chef who not only excels in culinary skills, but also possess the entrepreneur qualities such as a business acumen, creativity, and leadership. Leadership is one of the first cohorts we're going to talk about in the program is leadership. I think that we need more leaders in the industry right now versus just managers. I think managers are real good at managing projects, but we need leaders. We need leadership so bad in the industry right now. Hold on, reach out to Chef Terry. Chefpreneurs typically run their own culinary business or ventures, which includes owning a restaurant, catering companies, food trucks, personal chef service, which we were just talking to Chef T about, and developing culinary products. That's another thing you guys should do too. Any chef listening to me right now, start thinking for 2026 of customizing cutting boards, customizing your own knives. You don't have to do a cookbook. Cookbook is a huge project. There's a website called Alibaba, and I'm going to show you guys before we get off here that website and how easy it is to navigate. And they have tons and tons of aprons. You can put your own logo on the apron. You may say, Chef, well, I don't have a logo. You can go to Canva, hell, ChatGPT, or create a logo for you, and it's your own logo. We got to start thinking a little bit forward in our industry other than just cooking great food. I know a lot of us can cook our butt off, and that's great, but there's going to be a time. Here she goes. She's back. There's going to be a time where you're not able to cook, or you can't cook, or your knees hurt, or whatever happened. Mic check, Chef, you hear us?
Mic check 1 2.
Oh, you came through loud and clear this time. Oh, that's right.
I'm not moving. I'm not touching anything.
She back. So I was just kind of explaining what a chefpreneur is.
Okay.
A chefpreneur also can take on multiple roles with their business, including cooking, menu development, marketing, financial management, and customer relation. This is something that we're going to teach you over at Chefpreneur Academy, is how to do those things. A lot of chefs don't know the fundamentals of managing their social media or marketing, or the difference between what marketing is, what promotion is, and what ads are. Like there's a different facets of the industry when you market something or when you promote something. Promoting something is not marketing. Sorry to tell y'all that. That's not what marketing is. Marketing is a more strategic element to it. And promotion could be, hey, today I'm selling fish plates. And you're just promoting that particular situation. Marketing is more strategic over a period of time. It says, in essence, a chefpreneur combines their passion for cooking and entrepreneurial spirit to create successful culinary enterprises. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to make an enterprise out of this thing. If you've been catering for over 5 years, you should have 2 catering companies. If you've been catering over 10 years and you don't have your own van already, and you're not charging for your chafing dishes, and you're charging for your plates, then you're wrong. Okay? Just flat out. If you've been catering over 3 years, and every time you get booked for a catering, you're running to rent this and rent that and rent. It's okay to start off. Let's not be, judgmental. Starting off your business as a caterer, it's okay to rent things, but you want to set yourself up for success to where you're buying your own plates, you're buying your own tablecloths, your own napkins. And the benefit of that is now when you go for a booking, say you got a wedding for 100 people, you're charging them for the food, your time, which is labor. You also charge them for the chafing dishes. You're charging for the napkins that you're renting for them. It's your stuff rented to them. The cleaning fees to clean the napkins and tablecloth, add that to it also. You're charging for the plates, the salad plates. And guess who controls how many plates you rent? You do, because you're going to build a menu. You're going to sell to the person. Let's do a 5-course meal. That's 5 different plates you got to rent to them. Sorry, forks, spoons, all that stuff. Glasses, glass racks. Think in that manner. And maybe you, chef, I live in an apartment. I don't have the space for all that stuff. Go to U-Haul and rent a small unit, get the cost for that. And that becomes a reoccurring overhead that you add into your figures when you start charging people for it. And a lot of us who started off to be caterers and private chefs, whatever the case is, we don't necessarily obtain this information. We think that, oh, okay, a wedding for 100 people, $3,000, and like, cool, right, $3,000. You didn't do no kind of calculation on your food. How the food getting there? Where your hot boxes at? Where your heat lamps at? What about your labor? What about this? What about sternos? What about, you didn't calculate none of that shit. You just, I got $3,000. And I know so many chefs who would take $3,000 and they would try to buy as minimum food as possible and try to, just it's too much of a hustle. So Chef, tell us a time that you first started off that you failed or you realized, oh shit, I should have charged more.
Basically, the situation that you just put out there, coming up with a flat out amount, like, yeah, I'm gonna do. I remember I did a retirement party, and to me it seemed like a simple menu. So, oh yeah, chicken doesn't even cost that much. Rice, whatever it was, the menu was uncomplicated, so I undercharged. I didn't charge for my chafing dishes, remember, because I'm just starting out. And school doesn't teach you, again, let me just put this plug in. Culinary school does not teach you how to run your business. Culinary school gives you a skill set, and then they send you out the door with a degree. The Chefpreneur Academy is going to teach you how to run your business successfully. So I just had to put that little plug in. But yeah, so not knowing how to do my costing, I may have made $150.
Wow.
Which, after charging, I'm going to say, when I first started, I remember it was like $15 per person. And I thought I was doing the doggone thing. I was like, yes, way. No. After you pay everybody,
yep.
I had made nothing. So I'm an excellent student. Never happened again.
Yep. And that's something that I had to also begin to mentor people about. Was this one young lady, she was crushing it with catering. I said, do you charge for your chafing dish? She said, no. I'm like, what the hell? I said, so do you charge for, the sternos? And she was like, no. I'm like, what the hell? I said, so you just putting food in the pan and charge for the food? She said, yeah, that's I said, no, baby, you got to charge for everything. I said, do you charge for setup? She said, no. You charge for break costs? Right. Well, she was so used to renting things, which is fine. Again,
right.
That's fine when you're renting stuff, but like the chafing dishes are yours. You should also you should get that right there. So I think we all made that mistake. When I first started off as a personal chef, I had no idea how to charge people, and because we both have big hearts, we don't want to it wasn't even overcharging; it was charging appropriately. So my first private dinner, I didn't make nothing.
Oh, that's worse than 150. Okay.
I paid out of my pocket because I'm like, shit, I didn't know groceries were at this much. Now, it could have been easily fixed through doing, food costs and all that other cool stuff that, they teach us. But, like, man, fuck all that. I'm gonna wing it. You know what I'm saying? It's macaroni and cheese. It's a little da-da-da. I got it. Pretend like I'm grocery shopping for my household. It's totally different. And I did it a couple times. Like I failed a couple times. I failed forward a couple times. And then I got hipped. And even for a long time, a lot of chefs don't charge for their time. And I asked chefs, how much do you pay yourself? What do you mean? How much do you pay yourself? So when you set up an invoicing, it should be chef service, which is your time, plus food costs, plus your sous chef or servers, plus this, plus that. And they should have an itemized invoice of everything you're charging. If you're $75 an hour, cool, be $75 an hour. You can be $2,000 an hour if you want to. For real.
That's the client base. Yeah.
Just make sure you worth that $2,000. You can set the standard, chefs, for whatever you think you're worth an hour. Like, don't shortchange yourself, okay? And what happens, unfortunately, is when I was in DC and Virginia, I was able to charge a little bit decent price. But coming down to Atlanta, because there's so many people in Atlanta that are quote unquote chefs, unfortunately, they were kind of like dirtying the water with very, very cheap prices. So when they came to book me, and I gave them my price, it's like, oh, my lap, why you charge so much? I said, I'm not charging that much, sir. I'm like, or ma'am, like when you do the math and break it down, you're only paying about 75 or 125 per person. Now I want you to take those 60 people out to eat in Atlanta and see what happens. All 60 people gonna pay $20 a part. They're gonna get in. It's gonna be a gratuity. He was like, "Oh yeah, I know I'm right, nigga." This is being a private chef is a service, so there has to be a service fee. Like it's a specialty service. I've cooked for athletes since I've been in Atlanta, and they're very cheap. I guess that's how they stay rich. I don't know. I cook for celebrities. I've got flown out to do amazing things for people, and I quickly got over it. Like I don't care who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care. I don't care. You're gonna pay me my money. You know what I'm saying?
And you have to know your worth and charge your worth. You're right.
That's the main thing. So anyway, the members, we call them members. You guys are members. Once you sign up for Chefpreneur Academy, you are a member. You are a family. You belong with us. You belong to us. You complete the 5-6 week course. You come out of our course not only with a Serve Safe certificate, maybe you already got Serve Safe. We recertify you. If you have Serve Safe, great. My objective is to make you a Serve Safe manager. I'm already a Serve Safe manager. Great. You're going to be a Serve Safe proctor. Whatever level you at, we'll get you up to the next level. And we're working on credentialing with the ACF. So you come out of our program, which is certified culinarian. And you ain't got to go to culinary school for that. Typically through culinary school, after 18 months culinary school, you get a CC, certified culinarian. Well, in our fast track program, fingers crossed, you're going to get the same thing out of us without spending all $55,000 and not spending a year and a half in culinary school either, right? Again, this is not culinary school. This is not to teach you how to boil an egg or to make hollandaise sauce. Hopefully you already know that stuff before you come to us. We're going to show you how to scale the sauce, how to put it in a container, put a label on it, and you sell it, put it in Walmart somewhere. This is the course to teach you how to make money as a chef, not to be cool on Instagram and TikTok. All right. I think we got that enough. Like we got enough of that already, right? So that's what it is. You are a member when you join us to deal with us. This is me again, Beyond the Kitchen. I understand success in the culinary world extends beyond cooking skills. We're not here to teach you how to cook anything. However, we will approach some cooking elements. There will be questions. I don't want you guys think that, damn, I can't ask about cooking. Yeah, talk about food, but in a way that, where do you shop at? Do you have vendors? And how much did you pay for that rosemary versus grown in your backyard type stuff? And that's why Chefpreneur Academies offer a holistic approach to education, incorporating elements of personal development and coaching in its curriculum. Whether you are a seasoned chef or a novelist cook, I will guide you, empower you to unlock the full potential and achieve your professional goals. That's the first thing. Day one is, what are your goals? We can't start talking about nothing until you tell them what your goals are. We are a community of culinary innovators. This is a community we're building over here as well. So myself, Chef T, and everybody in the live right now, I want you guys to sign up and become a community member, community leaders. I'm also going to offer what's called, I'm going to incentivize it. What's the word I want to use? I forgot the word right now. I'll think of it in a second. But join the community. What was the word I told you about? People who are not ambassadors. Shit, I forgot the word. I do not know. I don't know. But joining Chefpreneur Academy means becoming a part of a vibrant community of culinary innovators. You guys are innovators. We want to hear your input. We're going to put a community up. You're going to join the community. You're going to tap in with us. We're going to tap in every Tuesday anyway, live, for you guys to post a question. Maybe you don't want to ask questions in front of the audience, which is just fine. Email us privately, and we'll address the questions privately as well. Couple more slides. The first step towards your culinary dreams. This is what it is. Ready to embark on a transformative journey with myself and my team and join Chefpreneur Academy. Again, whether you are aspiring to run your own restaurant, to launch a food truck, or simply to sharpen your culinary skills, this is the place for you right here, Chefpreneur Academy. All right. So we have unparalleled success rate. I can say this proudly. I have a 100% graduation rate. Because all 100, really? Right? Everybody graduated already. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty cool. Military excellence, and because I do have a military background, and you heard Chef T speak also. There are some things that you're gonna have to take serious with the program. Like this is for people who take stuff real serious. So the program is structured that way. We will have fun, but this is serious. We only have 5 weeks to take a piece of coal and turn it into a diamond. So it's going to be a lot of pressure. Let me stop scaring y'all. But the program's going to be great though. Chef, anything to add before we move on?
No. That basically you covered it. Being a member of the Chefpreneur Academy is going to help them to walk strategically and confidently to the next level. It's not scary. It is hard work, but nothing comes to sleepers but a dream. So you got to be willing to put in the work to get to the next level.
No, that's right. So we're going to switch pace just a little bit and talk about what's happening in the food industry, hospitality industry, and culinary industry. We have three quick people to cover before we get up out of here. But I want to talk about this guy. Right? Anybody know who this guy is right here? Anybody ever seen this guy before? Clearly it says Red Lobster. This is the new CEO of Red Lobster. I think he just got in there, I want to say 2 years ago, a year ago, if not mistaken. He has completely turned Red Lobster around. I mean, a 360. So we're going to read a quick article. And I used to be a huge fan of Red Lobster too. And yes, we're talking about Red Lobster. Red Lobster is what's considered to be a fast casual restaurant. Let's read about him real quick. Red Lobster 36-year-old CEO isn't repeating the chain's $11 million endless shrimp disaster. Who remembers that endless shrimp they used to have at Red Lobster? I do, which was horrible. Great marketing, but they lost so much damn money behind endless shrimp. I think shrimp had peaked at one point in time and had dipped because it was a shortage, and they still kept the promise of endless shrimp, regardless of the price influx or not. I said, but he's reading all your social media comments. Red Lobster is the iconic chain and charting new course under the leadership of CEO. I think his name is Demola. I'm not going to try that last name, brother. I apologize. But Demola, Mr. Demola, CEO, after making its way out of bankruptcy. In an interview with Good Morning America on Thursday, the 36-year-old chief executive addressed two questions lingering on the minds of loyal guests and industry watchers alike. Will the beloved endless shrimp deal return, and how will looming U.S. tariffs on import seafood impact diners? His answers signal a reset for troubling restaurant brand focused on financial stability, customer experience, and menu innovation. Now, that customer experience, we want to talk about that also real quick, dealing with Mr. Danny Myers, who is an excellent forerunner for hospitality. If you don't know who Danny Myers is, you're going to find out in a second. So, endless shrimp promotion, which was horrible. For years, the ultimate endless shrimp promotion was a staple at Red Lobster, drawing crowds with the promise of limitless seafood at the set price. But the company navigated severe financial headwinds, and it became clear that the beloved deal was more a curse than a blessing. The CEO stated that unequivocally, we don't have any plans to bring it back. All about closing the doors and offering it while popular, unlimited, ultimately helping to sink Red Lobster bottom line. So basically, that endless shrimp was horrible for the bottom line. If anybody know anything about food costs, that was not a good situation. That's supposed to have been what would they call a LTO? Anybody know what LTO means? LTO means limited time offer. It's supposed to be an LTO. So if you are a restaurateur or a food truck owner or whatever facet you're in, you want to think about offering LTOs, limited time offer deals. Maybe the holidays are coming up right now. If you're a personal private chef or a caterer, maybe your LTO would be 2 fried turkeys for the price of 1. I don't know. I'm just giving you an example. I don't know. Or a sweet deal on 3 pans of macaroni and cheese, or a quick deal on some stuffings or some sweet rolls. Those are called LTOs. Imagine if you did 2 fried turkeys for the same price for the rest of 2026. Boy, you would be in trouble. And that's pretty much what Red Lobster did. They ran an LTO deal for the entirety and ran them in the ground. Horrible. This says, then all you can eat shrimp program initially launched as a limited time offer, as LTO, was made permanent fixture in recent years. Far from boosting profits, the promotion instead triggered a multi-million-dollar loss due to customers eating out of the chain's margin. Bankruptcy filing revealed that the deal alone was responsible for a loss of $11 million. Now, I don't know if we're not going to get to it, but I'm going to tell you what was happening. Some individuals within the inner works of Red Lobster also had dealings with a seafood company. So they were essentially buying the shrimp from themselves, selling it back to Red Lobster. They was kind of double dipping with Red Lobster. It'd kind of be like, Chef, if you had a restaurant that sold, I don't know, that sold filet mignon, but then you had a beef farm down the road. So you'd be selling the restaurant you work for, your cattle, and they paying you at the same time. So that's really what was happening with the situation. So you guys can read more about that on your own. I want to kind of give you guys some stuff what's happening in the culinary industry or the hospitality industry. Red Lobster, one of those things that I thought about. Another individual that's making headlines in the news when it comes to the culinary hospitality scene is this young lady right here, Pinky Cole from Slutty Vegan. If you guys are not aware, I'm not gonna say her brand, and she has talked about it extensively on a lot of different podcasts, a lot of platforms about how to structure your business. I mean, Slutty Vegan blew up. But some investors and people in her camp, I believe, as it was stated or said, that kind of put the cart before the horse in a lot of situations, and the business was growing faster than it needed to grow. And unfortunately, she ran into some financial difficulties. Again, not her personally. This is not her. This is the company. But she talked a little bit more about how to structure your business, brand identity, and everything in between. So let's read about her real quick. Pinky Cole Hayes was involved in a freak car accident in Atlanta where a mattress flew into her car windshield while she was driving 70 miles an hour on the highway. The accident occurred after the business owner lost multi-million-dollar business Slutty Vegan due to exorbitant corporate spending. After buying back her business, Pinky is looking to revamp Slutty Vegan and lean further into hospitality spaces through a joint venture with her husband, owner of Big Dave's Cheesesteaks. Derek Hayes is her husband, by the way, if you guys know that. Said Pinky Cole was thinking of her master business plan when life literally forced her to slow down and reflect on her path. During the exclusive interview with People earlier this month, the Slutty Vegan owner, 37-year-old, revealed that amid all her business endeavors, she experienced a life-threatening car accident while she was driving at 70 miles per hour on a highway in Atlanta. A mattress flew into and smashed Pinky's windshield. It felt like Final Destination, she said. I'm not the person to get in accidents. I wasn't on the phone. I wasn't texting. The unique experience result in her restaurateur having to go to the hospital. Wow, I didn't know that part. That's crazy. This is so. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm reading this for the first time in real life. I didn't know she was in an accident. I was trying to get down to the part of her business, but
yeah,
not ignoring that. I'm glad she's okay. Right here, right now, at this moment, this is her talking. I assume it's in quotations. I've really been in a place of peace, but I had a real rocky 2024. She shared, following a few financial setbacks with Slutty Vegan. Pinky lost her business and needed to find a way forward. Our corporate overhead was about $10 million. Sheesh. Pinky stated, I was chasing something that I couldn't catch for so many reasons. Though she knew a fast food chain was special and connected to a large audience, famous and consistently having hour-long queues, the corporate spend was too much for the entrepreneur to catch up with, calling it a situation where something is just too far gone, in which the best thing that you could do was let it die so you can rebirth it. She admitted that she wasn't the operational person, and she had people in place to run Slutty Vegan from her business perspective, but learned that a business owner, you can never take your hands off the wheel, literally. No pun intended with that. February 13th, Pinky had to make an uncomfortable and difficult decision put Slutty Vegan through a reconstructing, which meant that she had to relinquish control of and ownership of the company. She's to an assignee. She said, "I fought for a long time to be honest. I thought for a long time to be honest, and didn't want it to do it. I didn't want it to face the public scrutiny." She confessed, "I didn't want to face the opinions of others because I knew I built something that was so daunted by so many people. I could have easily gone on social media and did a rally cry for help, but I didn't want to be a victim." This happens to a lot of people. She's not the only person that unfortunately had to go through situations like this. A lot of people during COVID, I knew personally a lot of businesses in Virginia, restaurants had closed their doors forever. After being in business 12, 13, 15 years, feeding the family, supporting the family, they had to close their doors to never open back up again. So this is something that happens a lot in the industry. And this is, again, one of the reasons why I think you guys should consider or take a look at Chefpreneur Academy, because one of the things we do teach you is the business side of things. And that's why I keep saying that we're not going to focus on cooking so much, about the business. And I'm not using Slutty Vegan as an example, but I just showed you the example of Red Lobster, a multi-million-dollar facet situation. And now I'm showing you kind of a startup situation with Slutty Vegan, where people do fail in this industry. Don't matter if they're a Fortune 500 company or not. This stuff does happen. So if people are failing at this level, imagine the startup person who want to be a personal chef this weekend and thinking about starting their business, how nervous they are and how much capital they need, how much funding they need. Like, these are the stories you guys should take a look at. These should be served as examples of what not to do. And this is all this is about. Like, these are just examples about what not to do. Chef, what are your thoughts on the situation? Are you familiar with Slutty Vegan and what happened with this? Did we lose Chef again? I think we lost Chef again. We did. Add back in a second. So again, these are just serving as examples, guys, ladies and gentlemen, about what not to do, or what things to look forward to in the business. This is Slutty Vegan. I've never had the food personally. Heard a lot of great things about it. It says she's now turning her focus on to what she's calling Slutty Vegan 2.0, which she says will have new rules, new intentions. The regiment Slutty Vegan will have the same essence, but a new flow. So it's all about really just hitting the reset button, man. If you are struggling or have struggled to start a business, like, shit happens, okay? Shit definitely happens. And before we move about here, we're gonna move on to Mr. Danny Myers real quick. Give me 1 second. If you're not familiar with Danny Myers is somebody I admire. Danny Myers. That sounds crazy. I admire Danny Myers because he is one of the leading persons or people in the hospitality industry, and his story is very unique, I think, from where he started to where he is now. So let's check out Danny Myers real quick. Check this out.
Great to see you. I don't know if you've been listening to a little bit of our conversation this morning. I want to talk to you about tips as well, but so curious about where you think we really are in the economy, what kind of inflation feelings you're having when it comes to the consumer, when it comes to the hiring and the like.
The cost of goods sold is definitely coming down. The cost of labor is remaining steadily high. And interestingly, from our standpoint, Andrew, inflation has done what the politicians could never do, and it brought people back to the labor force. As you well know, during COVID, our entire industry was on its knees. Nobody could work at the beginning, and then nobody wanted to work after that in the industry. And at this point, most of us have not only hired back well over 100% of those who couldn't work, but we're like a vacuum cleaner gobbling up any human being who will who will come to our industry, and we need workers badly.
But so why do you think there's still such a shortage of employees, and that clearly is still putting pressure, it sounds like, on the wage side of things?
It is, and that's what I meant when I said earlier that the wages have gone up. That has brought back a lot more people into the industry, especially tipped employees, as I know you want to talk about.
Right.
Because tipped employees are making a percentage of menu prices, which have only gone up, which means that their wages have appreciably gone up over the last year and a half or so.
What is the average price that you're paying on an hourly basis these days at, I don't know, we could do the big restaurants or we could also do a Shake Shack?
Well, if you're talking about full service restaurants with tipping, you're basically talking about minimum wage, which in New York State is approaching the exact same amount as, so I think most of your viewers know that there's an adjusted lower minimum wage for tipped employees, which is a shame. It should actually be the exact same thing. But in New York, it's approaching the same thing. So by the time you add the hourly rate plus tips, I would say that most tipped employees in a full service fine dining restaurant are approaching somewhere between $35 to $50 an hour.
$30 to $50 an hour. Okay. Now, when it comes to a Shake Shack, what does that look like?
Well, Shake Shack all depends on each state being different. Shake Shack is roughly half the states in the United States, and they range from very, very low amounts to much higher amounts, depending on where the state is.
And at a Shake Shack, for example, we were talking about the toast devices that are now, point of sale in so many locations, where oftentimes it's offered, 10 or even starts sometimes at 15% or 20%, 25%, 30% on the tip. Has that changed things? And do you do that at Shake Shack?
Bad in Atlanta though, because y'all know. They're talking about tips again. This is Mr. Danny Myers. You guys got to check Danny Myers out. He's a hospitality guru, in my personal opinion. Check Danny Myers out. But they're talking about the tips, inflation. I know in Atlanta alone, you go out to eat, before you can even tip, they throw gratuity on there, which is something I think they should definitely fight back against the city, because I think it's crazy. But tips, definitely tip your waitress and tip your servers. So they're kind of just discussing how the inflation, cost of food, cost of services, cost of goods, everything has went up due to inflation, and how that basically affects the overall wages of front of the house workers, and also being able to hire great people inside of restaurants, whether it's executive chefs, sous chefs, or whatever have you, at a decent salary or decent rate. And that's something that I think we all should stay abreast about, because what happens as you become a chefpreneur, entrepreneur in the industry, sometimes you do have to go back and get a job. It's just what it is, right? So anyway, that's our time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for tapping in. This is each and every Tuesday. We're going to be on here running our mouth, talking about some great things in the industry. If you have any questions, feel free to drop those questions in the comments. Be sure to hit the subscribe, share this situation. It's only going to get better. Chefpreneur Academy. If you are interested in taking the course, joining the course, shoot me an email at chefpreneuracademy@gmail.com, or follow us over on Instagram at Chefpreneur Academy. Thank y'all for tapping in, man. We'll get with y'all next Tuesday, same time, 6:30. Peace.